Welcome to the Apple family. My name is Andrea Miles, and I am Apple's Chief Compliance Officer. Here at Apple, we are dedicated to provide a healthy and safe work environment for our employees and our world. The following presentation will be a review and discussion about Apple's Supplier Code of Conduct, the lessons learned throughout the years, and our intention to improve on future issues. Let me begin with an overview of Apple's Supplier Code of Conduct and the process of our audit. The Apple Supplier Code of Conduct states that all employees must be treated with dignity and respect and follow the labor standards concerning child labor, forced labor, and compensation. Employees will be given opportunity to expand their education and will be provided the tools needed to succeed beyond their employment with Apple. Suppliers are also required to participate in policies that will help preserve and protect the environment for future generations. Apple can only achieve this by auditing its supplier facilities and maintaining a transparency throughout the company, making audits accessible to all. Audits are a 5-step process that require thorough attention. Step 1. Preparation. All new factories must acknowledge and follow Apple's Code of Standards as well as agree to be audited. Step 2. On-site audit. These audits are led by Apple auditors and supported by experts and local third-party auditors who are properly trained on protocols. A thorough examination of policies and procedures is reviewed both inside and outside of the facilities. Step 3. Corrective action. Suppliers are required to resolve all violations. They are required to submit a corrective action plan within 2 weeks of the audit, outlining a course of action. Failure to comply with this policy will cause disruption in the supplier relationship and may lead to termination. Step 4. Monitor. Verification specialists will check progress in 30-day intervals and report any lack of improvements to senior management. Step 5. Verify remediation. An outside auditor will visit the facility at the 120-day mark to confirm that all issues have been resolved. And if any were not, a second visit is scheduled within 30 days. An employee hotline will also be provided to all employees who wish to report concerning issues regarding labor rights, environmental hazards, and any misconduct witnessed. A follow-up is also done afterward to ensure no negative consequences have occurred due to an employee speaking up. What prompted all of this need for audits and code of conduct? In the spring of 2006, news outlets were reporting about horrible work conditions at the Apple factories in China. At that time, the company had a code of conduct that was not checked or enforced. Apple performed an audit of the facilities in China and found that labor standards, disciplinary actions, and housing standards were not being followed and needed to be modified. The 2006 audit of the facilities in China found violations of age discrimination, health discrimination, unfair disciplinary action, excessive work weeks, unacceptable living conditions, and misuse of safety equipment. The company proceeded to make changes to its supplier code of conduct, beginning with the labor standards and non-discriminatory hiring practices. In 2006 audit discovered supplier management would not hire applicants based upon elderly status and were requiring medical records and not hiring based on applicants having hepatitis B. Apple modified the code of conduct to reflect that age limits and medical conditions were not to be considered when hiring employees. It was reported that employees were being disciplined by being forced to face a corner or do push-ups as well as have their wages deducted. The supplier code of conduct was modified so that no form of physical punishment or wage deductions are to be administered as a form of disciplinary action. The 2006 audit of time clock logs discovered that 38% of employees were working over 60 hours weekly and 29% were working more than 6 consecutive days in a row. The supplier code of conduct was modified to address all employees' work week not to exceed 60 hours weekly, and employees are required to rest 1 day per 7-day work week. After inspection of housing facilities, auditors agreed that the housing met the supplier code of conduct but saw an opportunity to improve the facilities. Improvements on safety, larger living space, and better amenities were updated. Audits of workers' environment met the supplier code of conduct. except that the wrong type of masks were used, which prompted a plan for an extensive and ongoing training program to protect worker health on the job. The initial audit and improvement. How has Apple's supplier code of conduct developed over the years? The 2015 audit report proudly showcases that an achievement of 92% of all suppliers have met the 60-hour work week standard, doubled the number of verified smelters in the supply chain, and have recovered nearly $4 million in excessive recruitment fees for foreign contract workers. Reports and discovery of underage labor has been modified to protect and help the minor worker succeed. If a supplier is employing an underage worker, the supplier is required to cover all costs that will get the child home safely, continue paying the worker wages, pay for the worker education until the child reaches the legal working age, and have a job offer waiting for the underage worker when the legal working age is reached. Currently, the incidence of underage labor is 0.001% of total work population, but Apple will strive to improve upon this number. Apple strive to develop and improve on the future of its employees and the health of the planet has prompted many programs to support this initiative. The first step to improving supplier standards is transparency by publishing the supplier progress reports and acknowledging failures and providing insight on plans to improve. These reports are conducted by Apple auditors as well as third-party auditors and can be accessed online to anyone in the world. In 2008, Apple launched its SEED program, or Supplier Employee Education and Development Program, that provides free education to employees in various subjects and trades. The total number of employees that have participated in the SEED program since its inception exceeds 861,000. The SEED program is currently developing an iPad-based learning program to meet the needs of its employees. Apple has also held suppliers to maintaining its strict rule of eliminating conflict material from its supply chain. The development of the conflict-free smelter program is to hold suppliers accountable and help stakeholders track our progress of participation. As a result, Apple has successfully verified 135 conflict-free smelters in 2014. I hope you are satisfied with the steps Apple has taken to ensure the protection of supplier, employees, and the environment. We ask that you maintain our high standards of business. There is always room for improvement, and we strive to support and innovate every step in the supply chain. We welcome you to the Apple family and request that you utilize the resources available to improve upon your business practices and use the tools available as you progress. Thank you for your time.